Hi there. So I'm here with award-winning architectural critic Bet Dunlop in her home here in Miami Shores. Hi, Beth. How are you?
I'm great today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come to your home. So what can you tell us about the architectural styles of the homes in Miami Shores?
Well, Miami Shores has a range of styles, which is one of the things that I think makes it so appealing. Most of the houses in Miami Shores range from the 1920s through the 1950s, with some from the 60s. The house next door, for example, I believe is from the 60s. But I think that that amount of eclecticism gives it a charm. You're not seeing one house after another that looks exactly alike. And my street is one of the oldest streets in Miami Shores and has a number of houses from the 20s, which I'm
Wow.
very pleased about. Although my own house is from the 30s.
I understand that you have some like Art Deco, some Mediterranean, some mid-century. What would you think is the most influential style in Miami?
In Miami or Miami Shores?
Shores.
Miami Shores, the Mediterranean is certainly the most influential. I don't think that numerically it's the most dominant, but Miami Shores was begun in the 20s, and then it began to flourish in the 1930s, and so you have an evolution from the really fabulous, the sort of Addison Meisner inspired Palm Beach, Coral Gables type houses to something a little bit more restrained. The house I live in actually is not Mediterranean at all, but is a modified, I call it a stripped federal style house. Probably the largest group of houses are houses from the 40s and the 50s, and which are Florida. They aren't necessarily mid-century modern. They're really more Mediterranean-ish Florida bungalows. They're sort of a post-war Florida, and but they were designed for indoor-outdoor living. They were designed to capture the sunlight and keep the heat out and the cool in, which we know when we get a cold day. But I think that not just the range of housing styles, but the range of housing sizes makes it very important and very appealing, because you don't have, it's not homogeneous, and that's really important.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail in the head. One of the great things about this neighborhood is that all the houses are unique and have their own architectural style, character.
Right.
And your house is completely different from your neighbors on the side or across the street. So that makes, like every person, we're all unique. So that makes also...
Right. Some houses are built on a single lot. Some of the bigger and more and grander houses were built on 3, 4, and 5 lot, but there might be a lot next door or somewhere that's slightly undersized, or one might be 1 1/3. And what that means is you have different housing sizes as well as different housing styles. And that makes it extremely appealing to have a community that has young families and empty nesters, and you have a range of ages, and people who've just moved in, and people who are long timers and have a lot of history. I think that really adds to the community feel. One thing that's important about the architecture is the tremendous amount of respect for the landscape and the land and the way people live. And it's quite important because the architect, the former dean of the University of Miami School of Architecture, Elizabeth Prater-Zyberk, always talks about how architecture can create a civil society. And we see that here. Every time you walk out on the sidewalk and you stop and you talk with, I walk a dog, I've met the whole neighborhood.
Yes.
But what I meet are older people, younger people, people who are out for their health, people who are out with their dogs, people who are out with their kids. But everybody is friends. People wave when they drive by.
Right.
There's a tremendous amount of sense of pride in neighborhood and pride of place that you get by having this kind of architecture that makes people proud, architecture that is intended to be beautiful and useful.
I don't think I could set it myself any better.
Oh, well, thank you.
And that's why I had the opportunity to interview you. So thank you for your time.
You are welcome.
And see you around. So there you go.
Yeah.
This is why Miami Shores is such a unique place to live, because again, a very unique place with architectural style houses.